Awesome. All right, everybody, let's take a deep breath in. Woo! Well, it is here. It is here. I've been so excited. Our team is so excited to be here. I'm Sarah Cannell. I'll be your host and guide this week for the Game Changers 2025 edition of the Best-Selling Book Bootcamp. We are ecstatic to have this week with you, and I am affirming that it is powerful and inspirational and expansive in every way for you. So thrilled that you're here. Settle in, make sure you're hydrated, make sure you've got something to write with or write on or type into, because we are going to open up the floodgates and we are going to get started right here and right now. If I have not had the pleasure of meeting you, I will share more about myself, my journey, why we're doing what we do. But I'm just so honored to be with you. I'm Sarah Cannell. I'm the founder of Thought Leader Academy and a 5-time best-selling author. And I am so thrilled to get to guide you through all of my most powerful master tips and secrets and techniques that have helped me and now thousands of other incredible leaders and experts and coaches and entrepreneurs around the world make a huge difference with their thought leadership and manifest incredible abundance. So those of you who are in Thought Leader Academy coaching with us, say hello in the chat. And if you're here for the very first time, just meeting us and our team and the community, we are so thrilled that you're here, and put a number 1 in the chat so we know it's your first time training with us, so we can give you extra special welcomes. And woo! So thrilled to have you join us. Okay, so I know that we all learn differently, we process differently, so I am going to have visuals to share as we go through, and we also have a workbook that we'll share later in the training when we get to the part where we're going to use the workbook. We will be recording these episodes every day, and we'll be sending them out to you, and you'll have those to listen to and rewatch things if you want to for the remainder of the week, and we will share the workbook and all the goodies. All right, so are we ready? Let's just do like one word. I just want to hear one word in the chat of like how this year has been for you so far. Like, are you feeling excited? Is it empowering? Has it been overwhelming? Has it been awesome? Has it been challenging? Like, everything is welcome here. Everything is welcome here. Whatever it is that this year has felt like, it's welcome. Epic so far. It's been awesome. I know, Deb Cuseman, you've gotten chosen on, to be on Top Chef or Master Chef Canada, and it's like a week into the new year. I mean, how amazing to have your incredible, gorgeous products there. Oh my gosh, so many miracles. Who wants a miracle this week? Like, before we even start training, like, who's up for a miracle? Like, put miracle in the chat. Like, that's what happens when we come together and do this work. Like, miracles happen, right? So let's go. Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm available. Our team has put that intention out. So we're going to get right to it because we have tons to do together today. And I want to make sure we get through absolutely everything that we have planned for each of the days, because they all build on each other, right? The days all build on each other. So can you see me making muscles? All right. In the best-selling game changer, do we have slides? Okay, beautiful. So here we go. I've already told you about who I am and what we do. We have the incredible honor and privilege at Thought Leader Academy of helping amazing experts and entrepreneurs and coaches from all over the world really scale and magnify their impact and their income through writing books, going on stages and speaking, being a TEDx speaker, monetizing their mission. So that's what we're going to be working on this week. And yes, do we have anyone from Los Angeles here? We want to send extra love to our beloved friends, our members in Southern California. If you have loved ones in Southern California, oh, so Karen's there, Gina's there. We are sending you all love and safety. Let's do a breath of just sending light to everyone who is walking through this incredible experience. Yes. Oh, it just makes me cry. Gina, I'm glad you're here, and Karen and everybody who's there. I want to keep you all safe. Yeah, prayers to LA. And so what we can do is, what can we do to create the best possible future from here? We can bring our work into the world. And so this week, we're going to be focusing on the thought leader pathway in this pink arrow up here of writing. We're going to be seeing how it leads into speaking, building your audience, monetizing your mission, and being the thought leader you came here to be. So those of you training with us, you know this pathway well, and that's what we're going to be working through this week. Every day we'll be together for our main session, 12 to 1 Eastern time. And then we have our VIP session every day immediately following this session. And we are going to add some bonuses this week, but we are going to do a write-in from 11 to 1 Eastern time on Saturday. So we'll share more about that if you're available to join us. It's so fun tradition that we have in Thought Leader Academy to come together and co-work and up-level. And so we're going to be adding that on Saturday. So you can save the date. And if you want to add VIP, if you're not already scheduled, again, that's just an hour of coaching every single day this week with me and the team. So I can customize what we train on in the main session for your vision, your business, your book idea. And you can add that in. Jill put the link in the chat. You'll get ongoing access to the replays, live coaching every day. You'll get our full Write Your Book in 12 Weeks course and all kinds of other stuff that we add in as we go usually. So feel free to add that if you want to have coaching with us every day. And there may be times this week when you feel like you want to have someone one-on-one just talk you through your book idea, your vision, how to apply the strategies that we're learning. And so our incredible team is here, led by Marietta Snetsinger, who is here with us every day this week. And she's going to open up her calendar for one-on-one support for you. This is our gift to you. It is included. You don't have to be in VIP for this. This is our gift to serve you and make sure that you get the most out of this training. And sometimes you're going to want some individual attention. So we're going to put the link in the chat. We'll email it to you and grab a time with Marietta immediately so that you can get some extra love and support and make sure that we customize what we do here for you. Okay, let's rub our hands together. This rubbing the hands together balances out the right and left hemisphere of the brain. It opens us to learn, right? We're ready to learn. And I promise this is something we've never done before, but we're going to do a 2025 forecast because we want to look at what is coming up. And we could call this trends, but I don't love that word because it sort of sounds like trendy, which we are not about. But I do want to look at what patterns, and even better, what your ideal person is going to need this year from you as a leader, an author of a book, or other type of creative project that you're doing. What are people needing from leaders right now that's going to make the difference and let them know you're their person? Who wants to know this? So just put in the chat, like me, if you really want to know. It's like, I don't want to throw spaghetti at the wall. I don't want to just like try something and hope for the best. I want to be informed and strategic and aligned with what people need so that I can really show up as the leader that is called for in a year such as this, right? So that's why we're starting with this today. We haven't done this before, but I think so important since it is January when we are coming together for this training. And I have spent the last 2 months deeply immersed in research and in looking and listening to people that I trust that are predicting different things and what are we seeing from the end of last year. So we're ready? All right. So we're going to go over 5 key things that our people need and what we're going to want to deliver to them. Okay. So here we go. How many of you actually work with clients in some way? Customers, clients, students. You have a product, a program, a business, a service. You have something that you offer to the world, and you're here to grow that, to attract more people to that. Put B for business. We're just going to call that under one umbrella of business if you have some kind of a business, service, product that you offer. Okay, so we just want to see how many have already. Okay, so this is crucially important for like what your ideal people need. How many of you are planning and you would like to start? You're going to put S. If you, part of why you're here is so that you can start something new, and you're going to use your thought leadership to put you on the map for that, to let people know who you are, what you're doing. Okay, great. So we have some of us are already doing it. Some of you are going to start something new. That is awesome. Okay, amazing. And some of you might have something you do and you're going to start something new. It's a new year. Okay, here's the deal. I don't think it's going to be a surprise to anyone. The deal is that a lot of people are feeling very burned and hesitant about experts and products and programs and different things because they tried things and they didn't work, or they tried things and they didn't show up for them. Maybe this is you too. Does anyone identify with this as a on our own side, right? Like, is this something that you've experienced in yourself where you feel like I don't know who to trust. We have a break in trust that has happened for so many people. And it's a really real thing. Like it's not something we're gonna minimize, right? And there's also contraction that is happening from the economy and the world and politics and culture and different things going on, right? We saw that in 2024, and it's gonna expand a lot in this year, but there's a contraction, right? And we also have still a 2.9-second attention span with the average adult in the Western world right now. There is bombardment of everything, and this is nothing that's going to be a surprise to any of us, right? There is a trust break, there's contraction, and there's distraction, right? And so, how on earth can we do the important work of serving people in the way that we want to, in the way that they need, right? What does this mean for us as leaders and thought leaders and authors and speakers in 2025? Okay, well, here's what I think it means based on the research that I've been doing. The first of the 5 important patterns, trends, or I'm going to call these really needs, right? I know I wrote that it was trends, but it's needs. The first most important in my mind is that people are shifting out of, we've already seen this in data, they're shifting to wanting a relationship versus transactional when they purchase or invest in something. And this is low ticket, high ticket, whatever. So where you saw a lot in the last 2 years of people buying off of a product or a result, like information, now people are like, no, I got to have a relationship. I gotta know. So I just put these, TikTok dudes, right? Up here. They're like, buy my course, do my thing, right? That is not what people are trusting anymore. Not because maybe any of these individuals didn't do a good job, but because people got burned, right? So someone is not as much even at the forefront caring as much. They still care, of course, about the product or result or service. It's about who am I in relationship with. Simon Sinek did a viral TED Talk that many people probably saw. People don't buy what you do, but they buy why you do it. And he talked about Apple. This was a number of years ago. I think if I was giving the TEDx talk about this in 2025, and probably Simon would too, it's about who. People aren't buying what you do. They're buying who they are going to be in a relationship with for the service, product, or program. Okay, so put R in the chat if this resonates with you. You can see maybe in yourself, and also you can imagine that the people you're going to serve this year are going to care really, really powerfully about relationship in a way that before it was more like, what am I getting? What am I learning? What am I, having? Yeah, super powerful. And as we go through these 5 things, I want you to think about which one is like the biggest deal for you. Okay. All right. Number 2, authenticity. Fake versus real. We are in the age of AI. That's going to be there. It's not like we're making that wrong or bad, but people really, really have a sense. Does anyone feel this? You have like a innate, like I'm having a visceral sensitivity. The minute I know I'm on with a robot, I don't like it as much. Okay. Right. And whether that's in customer service or an ad that's generated or a piece of content, I am not here for it. Right. And I don't mean there's beautiful ways to use AI. But authenticity is so crucially important this year. It goes with that thing about having a relationship. These 5 trends read in. Okay. Now, Inc. magazine put out, there was a study done by different things. 96% of consumers don't trust ads. 96%. That's basically everyone, right? And especially marketing done through AI. So this week we're going to be talking about authenticity, and this is really, really freaking good news for this community. Because if you're here, I don't think you would ever be here at this kind of a training with our group if you were not already a person of high integrity and authenticity, right? So this is good, because before people could just sell a bunch of stuff through robots and whatever and fake it in, and now people are like, no. And that's great news for everybody here. Okay. Did you know that new research, and I'm going to get more like data on this as the year goes on, but I was so fascinated. There's these emotional scales. There are people that can calibrate with energetic frequency readers, what the calibration of different emotions from rage and jealousy all the way up to joy and love. Do you know what the number 1 highest vibrating frequency in the universe is calibrating out right now? Of course, I kind of gave it away. Jennifer, it's been love for so long. Guess what it is? Authenticity. Authenticity is now calibrating even higher than love, according to some research, because it's a form of love. Someone's being real, someone cares, someone's showing that F up, versus people who are like that whole trend of, I want to make money when I sleep and I want to have a business where I don't do anything and just phone it in. F that, man. Thank God everyone's just over it, right? Authenticity, highest calibrating vibration in the universe right now. This is what we're going to train on this week. How you make sure everything you do is pouring through the authenticity you already have and bringing that forward. Okay? This is cool, I think, for a lot of us. You see, you decide. Long form will be more important than short form content this year. Okay. So it's not that it's going away. It's not like YouTube shorts or reels and any of that stuff. If you do social media is gone. But what really people want is to deep dive again. We don't want to figure it out in 10 seconds. We don't want it in that way anymore. We want and crave, really, this is back to, because that's how we're going to have a relationship and know if something's authentic. Long form. So I put this 3-hour human run podcast, not that a podcast need to be 3 hours long, right? But isn't that cool? Okay, so I want you to be listening to these trends. Which of these patterns or needs are you excited about, right? Relationship over transactional, authenticity over artificial, depth and long form over quick, fast surface. All right. Okay, this got cut off a little bit with my picture. I got too excited. All right. Number 4, people are in an authentic way, okay, not in a performative way, wanting the interesting and exciting. This is because we just get so conditioned to the same. So it's not a year that it's going to work to be derivative and do what everyone else is doing in your industry and doing it all the same. This is your year to bring out your special sauce, your big magic, your unique way of doing the world, trusting your own way. Now, we can learn from patterns and trends and incorporate them. But what we're going to work on this week is where to bring the wow. Where to bring the wow of you. Now, that could be intimidating. And so I promise you, I'm not just going to leave you hanging and say, figure out how to make it authentic and long form and all this and interesting and exciting while still being completely authentic without helping you, right? So we've never included this in the boot camp, but we're going to talk about the zone of differentiation. And I'm going to help you figure out how to bring your special sauce. Not again, it's not about being woo, if that's not your personality. If I have any other introverts here, ambiverts here, I'm an ambivert, right? But we're gonna show and train on how to make our content do this. Yeah. Okay. Number 5, storytelling and world building as marketing. 96% of people don't trust regular ads. Well, that's good news for us because we're writing books, we're filming, we're going deep. We're going to bring in long form, and I'm going to show you some new techniques to do storytelling and world building and marketing. And those of you in TLA already, I'll tell you all, we are going to go deep into these 5 things this year and major. We're going to have so much fun. All right. So these are the 5 needs that I found in the research that people are going to be craving and looking for and making buying decisions about this year, whether it's buying a book and listening to an audiobook, or whether it's investing in someone as a coach, a consultant, an expert in some way. So how do you feel about this? One word. When you think about relationship being more than transactional, authentic versus fake, when you think about long form versus surface level, when you think about bringing your special sauce and your wow and storytelling and world building. Yeah, excellent, finally, excited, targeted. Here's the cool part. This is the best news ever for all of us doing this kind. If you're here doing this kind of training and you're going to do a book or another creative project with what we learned here this week, this is so good. Who just said it's because it's what I'm comfortable with? This, to me, I was so excited, Christina, because I'm like, this is who I am. This is the kind of marketer I already am. And I love when the trends line up, right? They may not always, but man, isn't that great? Okay. So since this is you anyway, are we ready to rock it? Are we excited to say, like, this gets to be my year? Because I can tell you what, there's a lot of people who are not going to do this. They are going to stick with transactional, surface level, short, all the things. And this is your time to rise to the top. Yeah, number 4, Lisa, is your wow. The people do want something exciting and unexpected. Okay, but we get to do that through the lens of authenticity and realness and relational. Yeah. Okay. So, oh my God, how do we do relational, authentic, long form, wow, story-based, thought leader assets? Well, you're in the right place, right? You're in the right place because that's exactly what we're going to train on. Whether you're doing a book or another type of creative project this week, this is what they're made for. Books are inherently all of these things. Isn't that great? Put book in the path if you're in the chat. If you're like excited, the thing you were here to do anyway. Yeah. Isn't that great? All right. Yes. Now, did anyone notice if you were kind of watching over the holidays? This is by no means the total, but just to pull three people that I think are super cool. Mel Robbins, Gabby Bernstein, and Martha Beck all released books at the very beginning of January this year. Very beginning of January. These are all women with millions of people in their platforms. Martha Beck's Oprah's life coach and, Oprah magazine for years. Gabby Bernstein, millions of followers. Mel Robbins, millions of followers. They're all multiple New York Times bestselling authors. I'm just pulling these three as examples because guess what? I ordered all three of these books. Yeah, I love Christina's like, yeah, right? I ordered all three. And why did they do this? They already are well known. They're household names. People know them. They've got huge followings. They've got huge social media, right? Why did they write a book? Why is it that whether someone's a brand new person emerging to the thought leader scene or someone's a well-known, massive Oprah, whatever, why are these people running when they get their next big idea to write a book? It comes back to the 2.9-second attention span, right? In order to constantly break the attention span barrier of the people we're here to serve, we need to have a way that they instantly know on their radar what I need to pay attention. Why? Because someone has just put a flag in the ground with my next solution. And the research shows that in 1.8 seconds, in 1.8, a person can process, whether it's on social media, on an Amazon thing, in a bookstore, in 1.8 seconds. A person walking by can process that your topic, your expertise, that you're their person in 1.8 seconds. Yes, Francis, because they had something they needed to share. And they know the way that the most people are going to pay attention is if they write a book. Even as powerful as social media is, even as powerful as going out and doing their keynotes are, even as powerful as their podcasts are, they don't stop there. They write the book. Because a book in 1.8 seconds, whether you're completely unknown or whether you have a massive platform and following already, someone knows that you're their person, that you have a solution, that you're the expert. And then it let Martha and Mel and Gabby and Eckhart Tolle just re-released A New Earth with Oprah. Go on all the podcasts and all the shows and all the stuff because they had a message they needed to get to the maximum number of people. And they needed someone to get it in 1.8 seconds. And even if you don't have anyone who knows about you yet, by writing the book, you get that instant credibility and authority as someone who has something to say on it because you literally wrote the book. Okay, so this is like a loop back to those needs that these incredible leaders know, even though people know about them in their work, that they need relational and long form and real and deep and wow and storytelling. So they write the book. Books open doors, right? So I know for me, I did not have a big following when I wrote my first book. No one knew me besides people in my neighborhood or, who I'd gone to school with or whatever it is, right? Writing a book opened all the doors of everything I was hoping to be able to do to serve and impact and change lives, from TEDx to Oprah to Times Square to the incredible, most important of all of these, gift of getting to work with our incredible leaders in Thought Leader Academy. All right. So books open doors. So what we want to look at now is why you want to do a book, or if you're here to do a different creative project, why? What doors do you want it to open? I know for me, many of you, most of you probably know that 20 something years ago, I was working in an abusive job. I was flying back from a really demoralizing, horrible client event. And I found a book randomly in the airport bookstore, this book, Holy Hunger by Margaret Bullitt Jonas. And I read the whole book in one sitting. And after that, my life was never the same. I credit this book as literally saving my life. And that's what proved to me the power and the importance of not just talking about doing the book, but actually doing it. And I vowed to spend the rest of my life paying that gift forward. So what we want to do now is look at your ideal book outcomes. One of mine is because I get to pay that gift forward and be in the airport bookstore on a day when someone's spiraling the drain and in a crisis. And there's many reasons we want these books to open doors. So I'm going to read out a lot of the book outcomes that have happened for me and our clients, and I want you to listen and decide which of these is important to you. All right? Which of these book outcomes is important to you? All right? I'm going to read each one, and I want you to make a note. All right? And Jill, if you want to share the workbook, because we could move into workbook time now. And if anyone wants to use the workbook, you can use it later. And I want you to just listen in and write down for yourself any of these that are important to you. Okay? Number one, do you want to educate or inspire? Is that part of why you want to write a book? Right? So write that down. Right? Do you want to speak on stages and get paid to speak? Do you want to be a guest expert on podcasts and articles and media? Be a topic expert in media. Do you want to have a book? These next two go together for lead generation. If you're a coach, an expert, a doctor, a lawyer, you want to attract people to work further with you. You know, this is a way to attract people in authentic and high integrity, high value way. Is that important to you? Do you want to give yourself a money sign if you want to increase revenue or scale your revenue? Would you love to do joint ventures the way Oprah and Eckhart Tolle are, and Jamie Lynn Kern and Gabby Bernstein are in the launch of their books? Do you want to go and collaborate with Stephen Bartlett the way Martha Beck did at the Diary of a CEO podcast, right? Joint venture opportunities. Do you want to be seen as the industry leader that you know you came here to be? All right. Maybe you want to save someone's life, right? Like it was Margaret Bullitt Jonas's book, Holy Hunger, for who I know I saw a comment in the chat. Which book was it? Okay, so which of these are important to you? Maybe it's one of them, maybe it's a few of them. Maybe you're all of the above, Colleen. I was going to ask who's my all of the above people. So I want you to write it down somewhere that you can refer back to throughout the week. It's going to be really, really, really important to know your book outcomes for where we go next, which is choosing your best-selling book idea. We want to make sure that we write the right book for our book outcomes, because I have gotten at least, it's in the hundreds now, calls from people who found me after they wrote a book, and I was this person who wrote a book and then got really bummed because it didn't do what I was hoping. And it's because I did not start with the outcomes in mind. All right. So put O for outcomes if you're clear. You know which of these or others, if there's something not on this list that's important to you. Of course, this is not a, an all comprehensive list, but you know what is calling to you. You know the difference you want to make in which ways. Okay, awesome. Great job, everybody. Really good. All right. These are the outcomes that our clients in Thought Leader Academy that I have just been so grateful to be able to experience. And now you are welcomed in. You're joining this community. All right. Ironically, the first step in becoming a best-selling author is not writing the book. It's actually making a decision that we're going to make right now. We're going to make a decision right now, because decisions determine our destiny. And when we decide, there's that beautiful W.H. Murray quote, when we commit, providence moves too. And doors open where there were no doors, and magic of unforeseen nature comes to your aid when you commit. So I want to ask, you don't have to, like, no one, this is not school. No one's going to grade anybody. There's not, right? But if you're ready, I want you to stand up if your body allows you to, and your physical space allows you to right now. If not, you're going to imagine it. And I want you to draw a line on the floor in front of you. And on this side of the line where we started today, maybe this was a dream, a wish, a fantasy, an idea. And what we want to do now is cross the line. Okay, so only do this if you want to. This is, remember, authenticity, right? Don't compare yourself to anybody else. That's not important. We're going to cross the line together, those of you that want to. And this is where we're turning in some brain science, okay? This is an experience to let your conscious and subconscious mind know that you mean business. And you're committed. You don't have to know how. You don't have to believe you're good enough. You don't have to any of that junk. We're going to handle all that this week. But we're going to cross the line for those of you that want to on the count of 3. And what are we crossing the line into? You as a best-selling, world-changing, game-changing leader and author. 1, 2, 3. You can jump, you can walk, you can step. And I want you to take a breath, as goofy and silly as this feels. I did it. I'm the goofy one doing it on, on here. All right. Okay. And I want you to just say yes to yourself, whether this is a dream that's been one day or whether you've had this book and this big magic inside you for decades. This is the year. Okay. All right. We're ready? All right, we're good. We can sit down if you stood up. Thank you for indulging me. I do this. I cross the line for myself. I use this. We use this in Thought Leader Academy. Use it here because the subconscious mind responds to ritual and repetition. So we need to give it a signal that we mean we're serious. Okay? All right, Paulette's crossing the line. You're crossing the line. We made the leap. All right. And team, somebody screen shared earlier, and there's just a little mark there from it. If we could see if we could erase that, that would be awesome. All right. All right. We're going to identify your best-selling book idea. You can use this, Nicole, for any kind of book you want to write. You can use what we're going to talk about this week for any kind of book you want to write. All right. So this is a Venn diagram I created a while ago. And you can spot the typos if you're a person that doesn't like typos. This is like a search and find just for fun. Keep us on our toes. All right. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you 3 components that we've identified as that make a bestseller. And again, if you're not doing a book, you can substitute in a different kind of project. That's fine. But there are 3 things that I've seen over and over. I've written 5 best-selling books. I started book number 7 on the weekend, you go. I'm doing this with you. Just started book number 7. 6 comes out in April, and I'm starting 7 now. So I've got 5 bestsellers already published. Okay. And these are the 3 things that have made the books bestsellers that people I've coached, people I've looked at in, top bestsellers in the world on the New York Times list, all the way through my own books. Okay. So the first component is your passion and expertise. This seems like it'd be obvious, but I can tell you people should themselves. I've had it happen. People come to me and they say, oh, I'm supposed to write a book on this. And just like no life, no passion, right? We need these books to have a beating heart to make that relationship and that authenticity. Okay. So your great passion and expertise, what's something that you love, you would talk about, you would never get sick of it. You would love it. You can't get enough of it. You're obsessed with it, right? That's kind of what you're going for in this first upper right circle. Now, upper left, this is the basis of any great book or marketing piece or talk. How can you solve their challenge or help them achieve a dream? Okay. Think about it. What makes a bestseller? It's just number of books sold. It's volume. It's only all the lists, New York Times, Amazon, Wall Street Journal. It's just number of books sold. So what is the way that your book can help people solve a problem or achieve a dream? And those of you writing fiction or poetry or spiritual, think about why do people read books? They want to learn something. They want an escape. They want to travel to another world, right? They want to be transported. Poetry, connecting people to their soul, right? So this works for every genre. Ideal readers solve their greatest challenge or help them achieve a dream. When we do this, people tell everyone they know annoyingly, you've got to read this book. We're picking it for our book club. We're talking about this book, right? So what you're going to work on as your homework today is this Venn diagram, but we're not going to miss this bottom circle. Okay. The bottom circle is what is irresistible and relevant and urgent about your topic right now. Okay. What is the thing? You might have something that's always going to be important. You help people with relationships, finances, nutrition, longevity, spirituality. These are what we call evergreen things, right? They're not ever going to not be important, but why is it so important now? Grant, you said helping people around the issue of homelessness. Well, guess what? Unfortunately, I wish we could say homelessness is down, but it's not. It's up, isn't it, Grant? That's exactly right. And so that's your third. The reason we include this third circle, it's never taught in like book programs and things trainings that I've done, but that I attended, but I put it here so intentionally because this is also what's going to get you booked in the media, what's going to have people want you on the podcast. Why is it so important now? That's something I want you to start thinking about. We're going to help you figure that out this week. I've got some ways. All right. So who's already put I for ideas if something is already starting to spark? Some of you might have come in already, you have a project defined, like I started my next book already. I know what it is. I still work with this Venn diagram over and over and over to make sure that I'm hitting these three things powerfully and effectively. Okay, your passion, expertise, solving problems, achieving dreams, what's urgent and relevant about it now. And if you don't know that third one, something you can do between now and noon tomorrow is go on Perplexity or ChatGPT or Google and type in what are the most astonishing statistics and important facts and peer-reviewed research about, and then fill in your topic that you want to write about and teach about. And in seconds, instead of hiring a research assistant and spending weeks at the library, like people used to have to do, you will have more than you can even dream of about why it's relevant and urgent now. Okay. So really excited for you all to have this. Now, you're going to take these things. Some ideas are percolating for lots of you, right? How many of you, I'll go back to this for a second. How many of you have more than one idea? Like part of what you want out of this week is to understand like what project am I actually bringing forward? Because I have lots of book ideas and I have lots of content ideas and I have lots of things. Okay. So put M for many in the chat. If you have multiple or many possible ideas, and part of what's gotten in the way, potentially, if you're like me, is that you had too many ideas and you're not bringing any of them all the way to publication. Okay, so here's the prompt I want you to use. There are multiple prompts in your workbook that you can do for homework tonight, but I want you to ask yourself this one right now. What is your number one priority for this year in 2025? Don't think about your books now for a second. I want you to just take that off the table, all your different ideas. And I want you to think about what is your number one priority for this year? Is it revenue? Is it visibility, reaching more people? Is it personal transformation, right? And now I want everybody to take a minute and a half. I'll watch the time, and I want you to just write down all the possible book ideas you've been thinking about. Write down all the possible project ideas you're thinking about, just with a quick thing like memoir about living on a farm, book about my 5-step process to becoming profitable in a business. Like just write down. I'm going to time us. Okay. I'm going to get the timer out. Here we go. Ready, set, go. I want you to write down all your ideas and go. If you have one idea only, I want you to sit and close your eyes and visualize yourself changing all those lives and exploding your abundance and success with this book. You're doing great. Keep going. Just get them out of your head. Psychological term for this is called external storage. All right. We're taking it from the internal mental load and we're putting this in external storage. All your ideas, all the ones you're considering. Seven seconds. Keep it up. You can add more later if you need to, if you're like, I have hundreds of ideas. Okay, ready, set, deep breath. Raise your arms up. Ah, good job. Okay, now look back at that number one priority that you have for this year and see if you can identify one or maybe two, if you had tons, that are most likely going to get you to that number one priority. Okay. So the example would be if I want to write a fantasy novel and a book about becoming a paid speaker, and my number one goal for the year is to help people through my coaching practice to become speakers, then it's pretty clear which book is going to be. That's an extreme example, right? But just to show you, okay? So which one do you think is most aligned? If you're not sure, book a time with Marietta and she'll help you. We'll look at all your ideas and we'll figure, we'll help you figure that out. Eliminate any shoulds, eliminate any books that don't fit that Venn diagram of where you can really serve someone and support people. So you're going to eliminate and see if one starts rising to the surface. Okay. And then in the chat, if you have felt a spark, if you felt something that said, ooh, I think I've got that, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like you may not. This is going to be your homework tonight. So don't worry. We're going to be with you all week. You can book a session with Marietta and you can come to VIP and we'll help you with any of this. But how many of you feel like I know the one that's most aligned? The one that's really calling to me in 2025. Okay. Again, if you're not sure yet, it's all good. You might have just come in here today to think about maybe possibly doing this. All right. I love it. We have 111 of us on here together right now. I love 111s, right? We got power in that. All right. If you have more than one, you're going to spend some time between now and noon tomorrow. And your homework is going to be to use the workbook. You're going to do that Venn diagram and do some journaling on those 3 aspects of your book, right? This one right here, your passion, where your passion meets how you can help people in an urgent issue now. All right. You're going to work on this Venn diagram. You're going to look at all your book ideas and see which one aligns most. Like most of you already got this done. You're overachievers, right? I call them super achievers, not like overachievers, super achievers, right? And then you're going to see which one most directly aligns. Okay. So the goal, if possible, is to get down to one idea that you're going to use for the rest of the boot camp, right? Because tomorrow I'm going to help you figure out, great, I have an idea. Now, how do I put this thing together? What the heck goes in this book, right? Anyone wondering that? How do I structure it? How do I figure out the content? How do I make it do those book outcomes, right? So your goal for just so you have something clear to work with, because if you're kind of in a bunch of different buckets, it's going to be very hard to get the most out of this week together. Yes, Cindy, you're stuck in the structure. Oh, I know. Structure is tricky. Well, we're doing that tomorrow. So make sure you're here. That's awesome. Okay. Now, those of you that already had your book project, you already knew, you came in here maybe well on your way. You're going to go back to that Venn diagram and just make sure you feel really solid in those 3 places. If you're not sure how your book's topic is urgent and relevant, you're going to use Google or AI. This is where we love to use AI, right? Do some research on that so you can see what's urgent and relevant about it right now. Okay. And on the mindset level, because we are a brain science based book coaching program and community, you're going to walk around today. Can I swear this week? Put an S in the chat if you guys are open, just once in a while. If I just really feel like I need to just sort of emphasize something. Are we cool? Okay. If not, earmuffs. If not, all right. I'm going to invite you to walk around today like you're the shit. You're the shit, right? As people say, like you are a freaking best-selling author, thought leader, industry game changer. Yes. Yes, the GOAT. We could say that much more, less crassly, right? Walk around like you're the GOAT today, okay? Greatest of all time at what you do, because you're the greatest of all time at being you. But sometimes we let ourselves down, right? That's part of that trust situation that we had. The BFDO, Margaret. Exactly. Whatever term you like, you know, the boss, the queen, the whatever it is that feels good, greatest of all time, the big C energy, Christina, exactly. Okay. And this is going to prime the brain, prime the subconscious, prime the pump that you're not messing around this year. This is the year that changes the game. Who feels like this is a year you are going to do things differently? Put G for game changer in the chat. You're going to do things differently this year. Maybe you had a great year last year, but you're still going to take it up to a next level. Right. And maybe you didn't feel like you showed up for yourself and your vision in the highest possible way. Well, guess what? It's a new year, right? It's a new year. Time to change the game. And every day this week, I'm going to be working with you in ways we've never done in this training before at how we're going to be game changers and how we're going to use those 5 core needs of your ideal people to be able to, yeah, look at those G's, goat and game changer. I love that, Marietta. How you're going to be able to use, you know, these, how we're going to fulfill these 5 needs of these amazing humans. There are people hurting right now. There are people struggling. There are people who've read all the other books and they didn't land because they need your book. They need your project. How many of you are using this week to do a book? I just want to see how many of you, because you can use this for other types of creative projects. You can use everything we're talking about this week and apply it to videos and YouTube channels and talking. So B for book if you're doing a book. I just want to see who are our book people. Okay. All right. Yeah. And you might be doing like me, book and YouTube and book and, you know, speaking and all those things. Great. Yeah. Awesome. 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 Beautiful. Okay. All right. So are we clear? Put C for clear if you're clear on what we're doing between now and noon tomorrow. You're going to hone in on your idea. You're going to work on that Venn diagram, even if you've already had your idea, and make sure you're firing on all those 3 cylinders so that you land in the bestseller zone. And you're going to walk around like you're the GOAT, like you're the game changer that you always came here to be, that this is the year. You mean it. Decisions determine your destiny. You've decided, even if you need to fake it and act as if, that is perfect. It works anyway. That's how awesome the universe, it loves us that much that we can just pretend we believe it and it'll still work. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? Thank God, because I'll tell you, people that talk about, oh, you have to fully believe and have complete faith. Well, I would have been another word I won't say. It starts with F. Okay. I would have been up, you know what creek, if I had to fully believe in myself and think it would all work and all that. Yeah, no. But if you're willing, who is willing? Just put W for willing. Like you're willing to walk through this week like you were made for this, that this is your destiny, that this is a call and response between you and the universe, and that this calling that had you sign up to be here this week with us training together is not by accident, because I absolutely know it's not. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, great. Let's take a breath. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a like, yay, me. It's, you know, 13 days into the year and I am freaking going for it with everything I've got. This is the year, right? And you're not doing it alone. That's what's so important. We're doing this together. Okay, awesome. I'm going to bring up just someone amazing, someone I love so much, the incredible Chris Williams, who's been in our Thought Leader Academy, who's trained with us, who has finished her book manuscript. It's into publication. She is an incredible leader and thought leader. Where is Chris? There's Chris. Hello. I'm gonna just gush about Chris for 1 second. And the reason I'm bringing Chris up is because Chris, you know, you finished your book now. You were in this training. You've done this boot camp. You walked through, you made the decision, you put your flag in the ground, and it isn't the easiest thing ever, right? And so we're going to just talk a little bit about what we all need to know as we go into this week. But you all, Chris, we will put links so you can check out Chris's work and her incredible upcoming book. But Chris specializes in helping amazing wellness professionals, people that are coaches and health coaches and nutritionists and anyone in the wellness space, generate real profitability and financial abundance in the most heartfelt, generous way, in an authentic way. Chris, you are a leader who's already doing the 5 trends of this year. So welcome. I'm so happy.
Yes. I'm going to work on receiving that. Thank you so much. I really
Yes.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, I know you have a huge week. You have a lot that you're doing. You're leading trainings like this. You've got a book coming out. You are leading this incredible community in Activate Abundance, helping your people get to 6 figures and beyond through the work that's healing, literally healing people, right? So, but Chris, you did a book. You've generated $2 million in your business as a coach. You didn't have to do a book, but you have a book. You have a
I
book
do.
that's coming out.
I
So
do.
tell us what's the book and why you wrote it.
Yeah, so the book is based on the system that I teach inside of my program, Activate Abundance Academy. And so it's called the Soulful Abundance System. And I wrote that book because I wanted to get that system out in the hands of more people. And I can definitely say that it never would have come to fruition if I didn't have the support that I needed and the roadmap that I needed to actually make it happen. Because we all know, how we kind of get in our own way and we'll kind of sneak out the back door, when we're trying to create something. And, it was important. And yet I had never written a book before. I didn't think I was a writer. I felt like, who am I to actually write a book when there's all these like amazing, authors out there putting a book out, I should just stay in my lane and do the, coaching component. But
Yep.
I just really felt like I wanted to get this message out and again into the hands of more people so that, people could have something that they could refer to that, more women, especially because I really, specialize and have such a heart for helping women create financial abundance, that they could have a place to start, that they could have the same strategy that I was teaching, but also what I have personally used to create success in my business.
What was the what it like would you say scale of 1 to 10, how easy did it feel internally to do this project? Like was it easy? Like, oh, easy breezy? Was it challenging? Like what do you feel?
Well, I think that when I look back on it, now that it's done, I'm like, oh, that wasn't as hard as I was making it out to be. Right.
Yeah.
Like now that it's done, I'm like, okay, and I could do another one, and which I am. But in the process of it, again, because you don't know, it felt hard because I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't know the steps that I should take. I didn't have the structure. I think there was another, um, you know,
Yeah.
person here that was like, I don't have the structure. I didn't have the structure, so I wasn't
Right.
sure what to do first, second, third, like how it all comes together. And so it felt in my mind like it was a big push.
Yeah.
And the more I learned and the more support that I had, and the more I kept showing up for myself and coming back to the why, the easier
Yeah.
it became to actually, again,
Uh,
draw that line in the sand and say, okay, this is the year it's getting done.
yes. And now you're at the other end of it where the book is done, it's in the publication process. What has been the best part so far, even before, you've got all the, full book
Mhm.
launch going? I mean, you're right now, I wanted everyone to hear from someone who's like, you came here, you trained in Thought Leader Academy, you followed the steps, you got the structure. What's been the best part so far?
Oh my gosh, I think the best part is like I did it, right?
Yeah.
Like I actually did it. Like I am actually an author. I am actually a featured author. I actually have a book, that I can refer to that say I did that thing. And yeah, that was just huge. And also I think, seeing the support that I had from, people in my world, definitely from you, but my husband, who was really excited about it happening. And when I told my parents that I was going to write a book, they're like, "You're going to do what?" And I did it. And I'm like, all right, I did it. And here it is. So, the exciting piece of coming through it and saying, yep, this is it. And it's not, I'm absolutely sure it's not perfect, and I don't even care. Like it just gets to be out there.
Oh my God. Thanks for Can we put a P for anyone's ready to release perfectionism? Like none of the books are perfect. There's stories about Hemingway and Vonnegut being at book signings, writing in the corner and people going up to them and saying, what are you doing? This is like 20 years after they published their books that are considered the canon. And they said, oh, I'm editing, I'm revising. I don't like what I wrote, right? It's
Yeah.
never going to be, it's not going to be perfect, right? And so this is so exciting, Chris, and we're so excited 2025 is the year when it really gets unleashed. Although you were in the Times Square billboards in
Yes.
November previewing the book and
So
up the
fun.
lights and your family was there. And I'm so excited for more people to because Christina put in the chat, like I was lost before I found Chris and her system and the way to help. So it's absolutely glorious that now thousands and millions of people can find you that maybe wouldn't have found their way to
Mhm.
your work in another way. So we're so
Yeah.
excited for the launch. We're going to be shouting it from the rooftops. And is there anything you want to say when you think back to being in this training and being like, okay, I'm drawing that line. Anything
Yeah.
you want to say to everyone to like get them ready for this week?
I think that, just know that whenever you're trying to do something different, and again, because there's neuroscience that comes with this program, there are, you know, places along the journey where it is going to feel like, oh, I can't do this. But it's not true. It's just, the fear. It's just the doubt. It's just the part of our brain that wants to keep us safe. And so I really just want to say lean in instead of leaning out. Like if I can give any,
Mm.
one piece of advice, it's when that voice is saying, you shouldn't do this, you should just give it up, it's never going to be done. Who are like, instead of leaning out and trying to find the back door, just lean in
Mm.
and you'll move through it, and you've got so much support here inside of Thought Leader Academy to move you through that, because there's going to be a lot of people that are feeling the same way.
Yes, Chris, thank you. And knowing like you did that there's just people that need your message. And so
Mhm.
you got to lean in for them. We don't have to
Yeah,
do it for ourselves, but let's do it for the people we're here to serve. We see
yeah.
breaks that have happened in trust in their leaders. They need you
Mhm.
all who are the real deal. And Chris, you are so the real deal. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, everyone's like, where's Chris's book? Do you have a way for people to get on the advanced list for that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. If you go
Okay.
to shineabundancenow.com, you can click on book and you'll be able to see it's called the Soulful Abundance System. Oh, great,
Perfect.
Gina. Yes, thank you. And
Yes, here it is. We've
Shine
got it right there
Abundance
in the
Now.
chat for you
Yep,
all. So you can
exactly.
get
Thank
on
you so
there, so you
much.
can get the book when it comes out,
Yep.
follow what Chris is
Mhm.
doing and the amazing things. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for being
Oh,
with us today.
thank
Mwah.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's
Mhm.
done. I'm in so many meetings where it's like, oh, I got to get this book done, and now it's here. I'm so excited. So everybody, listen. I want to also pinpoint you'll see this week too. I'm going to teach you on Wednesday and Friday. You don't have to wait for the book to be out to create revenue. You don't have to wait for the book to be out to get speaking engagements. Chris is out speaking. Chris is running, attracting clients to her programs. We have that is crucial for so many people that we get the gift of working with. They don't want to wait till the book's even done, even if you do it quickly, right? So who wants to, what's the letter we want to use for this? Who wants to have some of your book outcomes before it's published? Put BP for before publication, that you want to actually be getting those book outcomes before, right? That's why we're going to train. I'm not doing a 1 day training. We're added Saturdays. So now 6 days we're going to be together so I can show you how to do that. Make sure Wednesday and Friday, we're going to really hone in on how you can start, whether it's booking speaking engagements, monetizing your message, all those things. We want you to start doing those things before the book is even out. And I'll show you how to do that. All right. Even though your book's your flag in the ground, you don't have to wait to do that because people need you. And also, you deserve to have more of those results as quickly as possible. So, oh my gosh, we are just at time. We're coming up on our first hour. Everyone, I would love to hear in the chat the thing you're most excited about coming out of this first session. Like what landed for you that you're like, this was helpful, or this gave me affirmation, or this was a new way of thinking about something. Put in the chat what are you taking with you? Again, we use brain science here. So this is a moment of integrating into your brain, into your mind, into your body. So it's about decision. The most important thing is to decide. Yes. How you can get research with ChatGPT. Yes. Long form content is having a huge comeback, Karen. Yay. Cindy, that you're on the right track and not to give up. Yeah. Jackie, inspired to clarify the why now of your book, finally getting it done, going big, authenticity. Yes. 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 Beautiful. Yeah. And we're going to email you all out the replay from today. We're going to email you the workbook. We're going to email you the link to book a time with our team. If you came in late or you feel, overwhelmed, or you're not sure how this applies to your vision, book that time. Marietta just put the Facebook group in the chat so we can have group support. But let's make sure to get your one-on-one time booked so that you can be sure we can support you in getting exactly what you need. Those of you that are doing VIP, we're going to go over now and we're going to start coaching. I'm going to help you get clear. We're going to get fired up. We're going to take this to the next level. And everybody, we're back here at noon tomorrow. Really great job on day one. Way to go. We'll see you here at noon tomorrow or VIP in 1 minute.